Hello, it's Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and this week we're doing another shaky cam interior review. This time we are in a 2016 Subaru Forester. Um, this is the 2.0i XT Touring. A great package for this car. The little engine, the little 2-liter engine in this has a lot more pep than the more naturally aspirated 2.5. So it's just this is a great upgrade for this car. Um, but we're here to talk about the interior experience. If you remember from was about a year ago, I believe we did a Forester. Might have been 2 years. The interior has not changed horribly. There are a few changes, a couple of upgrades, mainly in the infotainment. If you've seen one or two of our other Subaru reviews, I believe I kind of dropped the ball and I didn't do, because I've had both the Impreza and the Crosstrek, and I don't remember if I did either one of those with an interior review. So this will kind of make up for it because most of the interiors in the Subaru lineup look the same. The only big difference would be the Subaru Outback, which has a much different interior. And the Outback is, I know I did a video on that, so I will try to link to that down underneath this. So back to the job at hand. The interior is pretty plain. It's what you expect from Subaru. They tend to have the high quality, but not posh interiors, and they usually kind of emphasize the idea of driving there and getting out to do stuff, not driving. So but they're very comfortable and very well done. So over here we have doors and windows. Then right here you have your dimmer switch. You can set the memory height on the automated rear hatch, which is part of this package. I believe it's the limited package, might be premium. Well, anyway, you'll see it on the bottom of this. It'll tell you. This turns off SRF, and here you have traction control, and here you have the way to open the hatch. Personally, this is one of the little things that I don't like. I would rather have this here and this here, because you use this almost never and you use this all the time. Just a little, ergonomic thing. I'd rather have them swapped. Then you have, this has a two-tone interior, so you have this brushed nickel kind of a thing going with the black. This is soft plastic, not hard plastic. Makes a big difference in road noise. This is a relatively quiet Forester, much quieter than I remember it being 2 years ago. On the steering wheel, you have your lighting over here. Washer wipers here. You twist this for the rear wiper. This also has paddle shifting. All the 2.0i's come with that. Here you have your controls for mainly that. So you have volume control in this, which actually controls the infotainment. Then you have other things that are controlling what's up there on the trip computer. You have your telematics here, and then these, if you remember from Subaru's past, that controls what's on that screen up there. It sounds complicated, but trust me, this stuff gets pretty quick. Most of the stuff you would expect to have in there is actually up there. So that's kind of the, most of the time, you're not using that for much of anything except for as your trip computer. You will use that all the time. Over here we have all of your adaptive cruise stuff. This is equipped with Eyesight. So you have your standard cruise control things, and then you have your distance here, and then you can change the SI drive settings here. Then, let's see, we'd better do the instruments. Looking at the instruments here, you have a tachometer, then you have your speedometer there, and then here you can change what's in here, but for the most part, this is probably what you're going to be looking at most of the time. So your gear selection, your fuel, and trip counter or whatever. There is you can't really see them because it's dark, but there is a lever there, and a little lever there. You can use those to change that, and then also this side over here controls that, and then that side over there is, you know, I couldn't tell you what it's for actually. Let's push it and see what happens. Well, it doesn't switch, it doesn't do anything. So, I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Tell you at the bottom down there if I figure out what it's for. All right, moving over here. This is your info screen. Lots of good information up here. You can see a few things. I've averaged 27.3 miles a gallon. I did a highway run of about 240 or 50 miles round trip, and almost all highway. And I was at 27.8. This is rated at 28. So at altitude, that's amazing because you know, you have to remember we're a mile in the air here. So that's pretty awesome. And then you can see there's the throttle readout, turbo readout, and oil temperature. Coming down here, we have the infotainment screen. Now this is much improved. Subaru's done a lot to change these, and I think I've talked about that before, but it's just easier to use. It integrates with your phone much better than it has before. The only thing that I don't like is that there's no physical audio button anymore, so you have to go through the home screen, and then so you know, you have to go like this, and then you have to go to audio, and then you know, and that to me is slightly annoying. But otherwise, this is very easy to use. Setting up my phone with it was a 2-minute process, and that was because of the phone, not this. So yeah, very, very well done. I like their new infotainment. They've done a good job with it. Coming this way, here we have climate controls. This has automatic climate and dual climate in this particular model. Fairly straightforward. It's really not that complicated. When you change the temperature on either side, it shows it up there. So when you turn the dial a little bit, you'll see. Well, it's supposed to show it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Oh, maybe it has to be on. I guess if it's not actually on, there you go. See, so it shows up there, and then that'll go away when you let it sit for a little while and aren't using it, aren't changing anything. So down here, this is kind of the phone cubby catch-all bin. You have a 12-volt here, and this is rubber lined so things don't slide around. This has X mode. This is for real off-road. So if you're really, really off-road, or if it's getting really slippery, you can use this. It basically locks the differential, but it gives it it forces a 50-50 power split. Then this has seat heating here, shifters right here. You do not manually shift here. You use the paddles up there, so you just shove it into manual and then use the paddles. Personally, I prefer to be able to do it with this. Because you can shift while you're turning the wheel, which is much harder to do with paddles. But, you know, it's personal preference. Handbrake here, drink holders down here, and then you can see I have a USB cord sticking out. This is the tray and bin. So the tray is kind of useful. I've been setting my phone in it. And this is where the USB plugs and stuff are, down in there. So I'll pull this plug out because I need to take it with me. And I'll put this back, clunk, and there you go. And then this slides forward to give you an extra armrest, little length on your armrest. And I'll move the coffee mug that was over there because that's from the competition. We don't want people to see that. Over here here's the dash, again, soft touch material, and nice little kind of a two-tone look. And you know, it's pretty basic and relatively plain Jane, but it is very well done. Quality everywhere. The materials are all good. So most of the complaint is just that the interior is kind of boring. But really, that follows the market, right? People that buy cars not like Subaru, but buy the cars in this segment, in the compact crossover segment. They're mostly family cars. They're looking for quality and value, not necessarily bling. But you see, they did do a good job. I like the brushed look that's going on the big handle, and just there are some great things in here. Going to the back seat, very family friendly back seat. I had car seats back there. I've had the kids back there. I've had groceries in the back. I've had all those things. This time of year, we had a pumpkin. All those things do really well in this car. The back seat is adult friendly. There's plenty of room back there for an adult, so long as they're not extremely long-legged. And then, like I said, going up here, this has the new Eyesight system. These are much smaller and more compact than they have been before. Really, really glad for that, because they used to be kind of coming down a little bit into my face. Couple of things to note about this. One, a lot of the settings when you shut the car off and then turn it back on, a lot of them go back to default. Annoying things like the lane keeping, which I don't like, and it beeps at me all the time because I tend to ride one side or the other of the lane as I'm passing. So if I'm passing a truck, I'm as far over as I can get from that truck, and so it tends to beep at you, and I find that annoying. I do like the collision mitigation in this car. That's one of the advantages of this new Eyesight system. In fact, one of the things they changed is those are now color cameras, so they can see things like brake lights and stuff. Very, very awesome. Subaru, as far as I'm concerned, has the best adaptive cruise and crash mitigation in the business right now. So there you go. That's about all there is. This is the interior review of the 2016 Subaru Forester. This is in the 2.0i XT package. So, great car. Always liked these cars, and this is just more proof that they're worth liking. So, there you go. That's it. This has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. Talk to you again soon.